From the DeadProdigy.com studios, you're listening to One on One. Hi, it's Jimmy Olsen, and with me again is Andy Roat, Fleet Feet Sports Des Moines. Andy, how are you, sir?
Good morning, Jimmy.
You all ready for the next No Boundaries class that just kicked off this past week?
We are real excited about the fall class, and you have a special role.
A special role?
You're
not talking about my roles.
No, you're helping out as a mentor for the fall class. That's awesome.
Going to do my best to, bring up the caboose for all the runs every week that we do, but should be a lot of fun. Seemed like a pretty good group, and I always like how you like breaking the news to everyone whenever you talk about running.
When it rains, we run.
When it snows, we run, since unfortunately we are into that time that even thinking about, I know we don't want to, but if you're in certain regions, you've got to think about snow. You've got to think about the different climates. But then even with that, we have to think about it getting dark earlier or the sun not coming up a little later. So visibility is a very important piece to running, just like riding a bike. When you're biking, making sure people see where you are and making sure you're not just wearing dark clothing. You're a little more visible.
That sun is a sneaky thing. It's one of those things where all of a sudden you just notice, oh my gosh, it's dark now. It used to be light. Now it's dark, both in the morning and at night. So it's really important for runners to be seen. And it's a lot easier than it used to be. Running shoes are so reflective. Mm-hmm. Most running apparel is too. And then runners, it's also a good idea to invest in a small little flashy blinky light that could go anywhere, clip on. We also have lights that go on the heels of the shoe and reflective vests. And those are just really smart investments to make to keep people safe and make sure they're seen.
Well, absolutely, and I mean, you hear so many things of accidents and that happening because someone just didn't see someone, and you want to try and be as aggressive as you can, proactive to make sure people can see you, because a lot of times, it's not just, you seeing them, it's them seeing you too. It's just like driving a car. You have to, drive aggressively and make sure what's going on around you, because if someone's being distracted or even blind spots in cars anymore.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, I see the car, the car has to see me. Well, that's not exactly the way it works.
In fact, that's a conversation I've had with some friends lately, of even especially the newer cars. I mean, the older cars you had there, there were a few blind spots, but for the most part you could see. But I've noticed even with my truck, there's a lot more blind spots because they've added the extra headrests on all the cars, so it's going higher, because it used to be the headrest hit about, your neck. Now it's actually up to where the top of your head, and I don't think people realize that creates blind spots in cars, which is just we're making it safer and more dangerous at the same time. Thank you very much, Safety Council. Well, yes, visibility, very, very, very important, and I know we talked about that in orientation this past week. Well, I don't know that in orientation did, but me and a few other mentors, and we're having that conversation because with it getting darker, that also means the whole falling back an hour, which will make it even darker earlier and lighter later than what you will be dealing with over the next few weeks.
Right. So it's just real important for people to be visible. Keep running year-round. It's a great way to take on the weather as it changes, but just make it easy to be seen so you can keep running.
Absolutely. Speaking of running, a lot of events that, some that you're doing yourself at Fleet Feet Sports, other 5Ks and runs that are happening around here locally in central Iowa. So what do you have for us, Andy?
Something that's new to us is we're doing something with the Iowa State game, which is coming up so quickly.
And this is 10th. One that you're doing for you. So this is
right
through the store. Okay.
Right. So we are having a tailgate party at the store on game day morning. We have our social run Saturday at 8 a.m., and people can come run and walk with us, and then we'll have a tailgate party afterwards to kick off the big day. And then also people can win one of two $100 gift certificates through a couple ways. They could join our 4 social runs that start August 31st and go through game day on September 10th. Those are runs on Wednesdays at 6 p., Saturdays at 8A. You make it all 4, and you're in the running for a $100 gift certificate. Or you could make a donation to either the University of Iowa Children's Hospital, that's for the Hawkeye fans, or to the Special Olympics of Iowa. That's for the Iowa State fans. And you could also win a $100 gift certificate courtesy of Saucony.
And you're actually you're kind of labeling this as, even though it's not a 5K that morning, but it's like a tailgate run.
Right.
So it's a social run, but you're actually giving the Herky and Side charity tailgate run.
Exactly.
Something like that. I don't know. I just pulled that.
We're always coming up with reasons to eat and drink food after our runs.
Well, that one sounds like a lot of fun. So that one, again, going to be September 10th, so not too far away. In fact, if you're going to do the social run pieces, you're kind of running out of time to hit 4 of those, but maybe it's getting some people and putting maybe collecting some money for the different charities to get your name thrown into that hat. So what else is going on?
Well, also the Des Moines Marathon will be coming up before you know it. That's coming up in October. And if someone's interested in running, and actually there's several races. There's the marathon, there's a half marathon, there's a 5K, and new this year there's a 5-mile run. So they have something for pretty much everybody. And if you're interested in running, we'll be having some free entries. And all we ask people to do is come in the store and register during the month of September, and we'll be giving those away. And that's courtesy of Ultra, which is the official shoe sponsor of the IMT Des Moines Marathon.
And then Saturday morning, I was actually down and did the social run, and then ran into Chris Birch, executive director of the IMT Des Moines Marathon. He was actually running part of the course on Saturday morning for the marathon.
You know, it's amazing how much work goes into putting together a course for a race. It's a lot of work. So whenever the route changes, and these are new routes this year for the IMT Marathon Series, it's a lot of work to get everything dialed in and make sure everybody has a great experience during the runs.
Absolutely. And I know there's another run here coming rather quickly that you were very excited about with Fire Trucker Brewery.
Fire Trucker 5K is Saturday, September 3rd at 11 a.m., and it's raising money for the Nature Conservancy. And so Saturday, 11 a.m., a little bit of a different time. And, it's taking place at Fire Trucker Brewery up in Ankeny.
Which that means you've got a keg waiting for you at the end.
Something to run for.
What is that? The rehydration that you like to getting your carbs after the run. What else is going on?
Well, I don't want you to think I have a drinking problem here, but another race that's not too far down the road is Blood, Sweat, and Beers.
Really?
Blood, Sweat, and Beers, and that benefits people who are battling blood cancer.
Okay.
And that'll be out at the State Fairgrounds on September 17th.
And another one, not to maybe even throw a food problem in that. Another one happening in September too is the food truck 5K.
Food truck 5K
which
will
is
be coming
towards the end of the
shortly
month.
after that. Yeah.
So.
And that'll be the second year for that race, and it's a neat new spin on a race. Lots of food trucks afterwards, and that should be a lot of fun.
So Andy. I don't even know where that came from. How can they get a hold of you when they find about these races? They want to find out about being visible. They want to find out. In fact, I noticed a lot of people having conversations during orientation this week, looking for running shoes, looking for different things, socks, and so they have questions. They want to find out more, especially again as things are going to start to cool off. That they want to stay warmer as they're doing that run. How can they do that?
Sure. For races, go to our website, fleetfeetdesmoines.com, and we've got a tab on there for races. And interesting, that's the most trafficked part of our website, our races. So that's at fleetfeetdesmoines.com. And I'm in the store at 521 East Locust in the East Village, right on the corner of East 6th and Locust. And we've got free covered parking right in back of the store. And happy to chat with folks anytime, or they could give me a call. The store number is 323-3338. That's 323 feet.
And if Andy's not there, he has a fantastic staff that they can also help you and answer any questions that you may have for different things. And, I think where the Randy came in between the beer and the food, just feeling kind of Randy already. We need to go out and get a run in. Too much energy all of a sudden.
Make it happen, Jimmy.
All right, Andy, thank you very much for coming in and chatting with us once again. And, of course, I know all kinds of information out there. Again, and I think you've mentioned over the past few weeks, this is really when a lot of those 5Ks really start kicking in when you get into that fall and spring area, just because kind of a good weather time for those.
Cools off, and people all of a sudden they've been running in the summer, and the weather cools off 10 or 15 degrees, and it's like, holy cow, I'm running so much faster.
How does that work? Andy, thank you very much. Andy Roat, Fleet Feet Sports Des Moines. I'm Jimmy Olsen.
You've been listening to One on One with Jimmy Olsen from the DebtProdigy.com studios.